Earlier this week, I saw a photograph. I don't know if it was photoshopped or changed or altered in any way, but it was pretty astounding photograph, and it really spoke to how I was feeling, at least, and I think has a lot of people been feeling. So the photograph, this beautiful rainbow kind of like arching through a fourth of the page. It wasn't like a complete rainbow like we see here in Hawaii, but more like a fourth. And from the side, actually from the right side, not coming down from heaven or from the north, but coming from the side, was a direct lightning bolt, like hitting it, like just trying to wreck it. And I thought, well, that's pretty accurate. So I feel a lot, because rainbows represent, right, the covenants, promises of God, right? And here in Hawaii, we're the rainbow state too, so it was kind of profound. And being hit from the side by lightning, I thought, oh yeah, this is what that feels. So a few days later, the Lord said, "You're not seeing that picture right." I went, okay. How does heaven see this? And he reminded me that Billy Brim, if you don't know who Dr. Billy Brim is, she's a pretty cool lady. I think she's 80 now. A great intercessor, preacher, champion of Israel. Anyway, she wrote a book many years ago, and she worked for Kenneth Hagin for many years. She wrote a book many years ago, and she talks about taking your authority. And she says every morning, when she prays, she has this chair she sits in when she prays in, and if she's somewhere else, she makes a point of to sit, because she said we are seated together with him in heavenly places. So she goes, I make conscious effort in my mind to sit together with him. I am his body in heavenly places to see things how he sees it. And she goes on to say, which I totally agree with, our main purpose in prayer is to stop, cancel all the plans of the enemy, and pray the glory, the will, the presence of God into this earth. Really, that's all intercession is. Anyway, so I said, okay, all right, yeah, I haven't been doing that. I need to sit together with you up high where you are. And how do you see this? And he goes, okay, so you seated with me? I go, yeah, seated with you. He goes, where's the rainbow from your perspective on my throne? Okay, well, it says it's around your throne. It's underneath your feet. Exactly. And he said, so the rainbow is underneath our feet, right? Yep, okay. So what's lightning? He goes, well, has it ever occurred to you that lightning is the power of God? Because when you look it up, which I have done this past year, the word lightning in the Bible, it's always accompanied by the presence of God. The lightnings, the thunderings, the presence of God. And like lightning and thunder going from east to west is going to be his coming. So he said, let's change your perspective on that. And I said, okay. And then the other scripture he reminded me of was that it is our job, it says in Isaiah, to implant the heavens. And so he said, so what's the power of God? And I said, well, your word is the power of God. The gospel is the power of God. And he said, exactly. So to enforce the promises of God, you've got to apply power to them, right? And I went, oh, yes, of course. So he gave me a very, very simple thing, sit with him. You've got to get that part first, because too often I don't do that. I kind of just go launching into confessions, prayers, whatever. But to understand I'm seated with him. And Lord, what's your will in this? And usually he'll give you a scripture. He'll give you a word from his word, which you can then implant the heavens, which will impact the promises and the covenants of God. So the last part of this picture, which he gave me, he goes, okay, now remember this picture, photograph, and like I said, I don't know if it's photoshopped or not. You've got to remember on this planet, everything is under kind of the Egyptian heresy. It's upside down, inside out. It's a total opposite of how heaven sees it. And the rainbow has been kind of hijacked and used for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer agenda. And he said, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit it with my power. And he said it's not going to be a power to destroy, but it's going to be a power that's greater than theirs, which is the power of love, that power of humility, but it's going to be so much greater. I went, oh God, okay, great. I'll agree with that. And Lord, again, saturate us with your ability, and your kingdom come, your will be done, and give us angels to help us do that, because that is beyond many people's ability to do. So, 3 things: sit with God in your heavenly place, or in his place, in his chair with him. Speak what he tells you to speak, to employ the lightnings and the power of God into situations, into activating covenants and the promises of God. And I think he said we're going to see a movement that it's going to begin to hit that whole other agenda. And I don't even think it's just about the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer thing. I think it's about the whole rainbow agenda, the world's agenda, and it's going to be hit by the power of God.